I have a tab open here that is a Amazon listing for a book called Our Carnivore Diet: How to Cure Depression and Disease with Meat Only by Jordan and his daughter Michaela Peterson.
I'm listening. I'm open to this.
That's it's an interesting concept.
Now, meat only. Now, are they saying that that's all that you would eat, or will meat replace all the other things? Like, will I have to wear meat clothing?
Now,
Will I bathe myself in au jus?
well, it does say diet,
Can
but
I
it could
still
be.
bathe in au jus?
You could, yeah. I mean, this
Can I
could be.
still wear a T-bone steak as a hat?
It could be a diet in the sense of, like, in medieval times, like the diet of worms.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that as a kid, and you're like, "Oh my god, what?"
I know that I learned what that was at some point in time, but it's such a evocative name that isn't evocative of what it actually is.
You just picturing like the Pope just eating worms.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's just like,
that's so
and
crazy.
he's not using utensils. He just got fistful of worms that he's tearing into, eating a big handful of worms like an apple. Maybe there's a little apple in his ball of
He's
worms.
got
He's like, there's apple in these worms.
there's just like a little tiny piece of apple and a writhing handful of worms.
And he's spitting worm bits out like,
Oh,
disgusting,
the
gross.
whole worms is ruined now. Can't just cut around the apple. They've been wiggling on it.
Yeah, that apple shits in my bowl of worms. It's fucking gross.
A diet in the medieval sense was a special assembly where they declared Martin Luther to be a heretic. So perhaps Jordan Peterson and his daughter held an assembly of the Holy Roman Empire to talk about meat or do something with it. Although I have seen an interview with him where he says that all he eats is red meat, and then he looks like the saddest person on earth and says, "Unfortunately."
Are you still eating your all beef diet?
Unfortunately, yes.
Really, just beef? Not? Can you have like ketchup on it?
Nothing. Right. Yes, I wouldn't. It isn't something I would lightly recommend. It's a little hard on your social life. It makes traveling quite difficult, and it's dull as hell.
Which makes me question that it is going to cure depression and disease. Well, depression at least. The disease part, he was in a coma for a while.
I don't know. Like, I'm going to keep my mind open about comas. I'm not entirely sure that it's not just like some people need to hibernate, like a bear.
He's like Godzilla.
Yeah.
Just Jordan Peterson burrows down into the earth.
At this point in time is done. But
he's done. He's resigned. And now he will interrogate.
He will conserve his energy.
He sleeps for 100 years.
So that he will fight again.
Until we call him forth again. By letting the M&Ms choose their pronouns. Actually, the M&Ms canonically have no pronouns, and they should not have pronouns to focus more on personality. They're struggling to find meaning. They say all that anyone cares about is the fact that I have a pretzel inside me, and it makes me so anxious. Well, here's my rule for life. Tie your shoes, Orange M&M. You look sloppy.
I think it might be in character more. I don't think people are going to be like, oh, good, he's tying his shoes now. That's good, because he's a very fastidious M&M, and of course he would tie his shoes. Like, if he's real nervous, I think they should give him those Velcro strap shoes, and he should always be fidgeting with them.
Yeah. He's got the Velcro shoes and a helmet.
I mean, I think they should all have helmets because
honestly,
that is a
shocking.
thin candy shell.
And maybe it remains to be seen. Who knows how this new branding of the M&Ms is going to play out? But it is shocking that in the press release, there is no mention or depiction of one of the M&Ms being in a wheelchair.
Oh no!
I mean, that was a staple at one time. You had a bunch of mascots. One of them has to be spinning a basketball on his finger, and another one has to be in a wheelchair.
One of them should probably have a cool pair of sunglasses on.
This one's got attitude.
Wears his baseball cap backwards.
Now,
wears his helmet backwards.
He's got his helmet on backwards.
Can't see anything.
They're like, did you just make like a mentally disabled one? He's got Velcro shoes and a helmet. And he seems to not know how to do it. Getting back to the idea of Jordan Peterson emerging from the earth every 100 years. I'm not saying that that's a good movie, but I will say that if someone were to make that into a franchise, I would probably pay to watch the first one on video on demand. And then that would get me so excited that I would be there opening night in the theater for the one where finally Slavoj Žižek emerges from the ocean to fight him.
Now, are you sure that you want Slavo to come out of the ocean, or would it not be better if he were piloting a giant mech?
Oh yeah. No, they're not kaiju sized. It's just normal Jordan Peterson and normal Žižek. And it just here he comes out of the water. He's just covered in seaweed, just sniffling. There's a teaser trailer where it's just that at the very end it goes black, it's silent, and then you hear. Oh.